all the goals, all the wave against corruption is actually intact, and we are taking the right strides. Just a few days ago, the president launched a fight against the graft, and there is a lot of energies that are coming in from all walks of life. But guess what? Where do the youth plug in? How do the youth join the campaign? And Legal Aid Service Providers Network, yesterday they released a report that was looking at the vulnerability, the poverty and the corruption hindrances faced by the youth. How do the youth fight corruption? The system is of course embedded with a lot of injustices, a lot of vulnerability. Our youth don't understand the law, and they only jump out when they actually give kitu kidogo. I'll give you an example. I'll take a testimony of one Habib on Nachivo Blue Street. He said, when we arrested oil, when our merchandise is actually taken by the KCC operatives and the state operatives, redeeming your merchandise and you yourself will cost you around 300,000 Ugandan shilling, which you don't make on a daily because Wamufunampala at the end of the day. And last minute actually comes in and releases the report. How do the youth plug in the fight against corruption? What do they need? Do they even know about anything legal? Do we as a nation give them enough information? Do our leaders actually play a key role to make this happen? And today I'm glad I have a team from last minute guys. Join me here. These are lawyers, so they're always careful on how things work. Good morning, Sebo.
Good morning to you.
Your name?
I'm Ibrahim Magomu.
Ibrahim?
Magomu.
Magomu.
Yes, from Bali.
Nice to meet you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, Nyabo?
Dafina Chen.
Dafina Chen.
Eli Kasirie. Yeah, is my name.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you. And I'm Ronald Twina Masiko.
Ronald Twina Masiko. Now, this is a cocktail of Uganda. We have a Uganda, we have someone from the west, someone from the north. So it's entirely about a legal. Fast forward, we're going to be a little much more audible. Fast forward. What do you make of the youth today in the country?
First of all, is that the youth have been relegated from the cooking points to serving points, whereby they don't sit where food is being prepared from. They only eat what has been served to them, and that is a threat because when you are at the cooking point, you have everything. You have a right to eat the first. Rather than eating the leftovers. So the youth today have been relegated. And
do you think the youth are actually playing a key role to be a part of the cooking process? Are they participating in any way?
They should participate, but unfortunately...
Why are they not participating?
Unfortunately, because of, I think, the fear and the threat they... perceived threat they possess to...
What are the youth scared of?
What they're scared of is maybe they were not there before, those ones. So those ones who were there before them, they claim this is ours.
This is ours.
So they don't want to leave the stage.
Wow. Well, I understand and I resonate with that. There is a notion of Tamwarwana. So it's a notion among the youth we actually need to change. Achan, from your point of view, access to justice needs for the youth. Do the youth understand the legal and the legalities that are involved with their day-to-day running of lives?
Not really. The youth do not understand.
Where is the gap?
The gap is in lack of knowledge, lack of where to find access to justice points, and that's why they prefer the system. The justice system is very complicated for them. So they prefer using youth-friendly services like the local council, courts, or peer-to-peer resolution of disputes.
There is a lot of kitu kidogo that goes from pockets to whoever is actually in charge. Do you think this can stop at any one time?
It all starts with us. We all have a struggle in this. We have to. It starts from the grassroots. It starts from the families. Because I would give you an example. If I'm in a family of 5 and my father does not like my sibling, they would have to encourage them and say, you have to work for this for me to be able to give you money. So if I grow up with that mentality that I have to work to be able to be given something, it comes, the reverse is, give me, I take. You give, like that.
So, wow. So at the end of the day, we have a generation that expects to earn. Wow. Cassidy, you have traversed the nation. You have seen the youth, and you can see us the way we're actually doing whatever we're doing. Do you think the system is favorable for the youth to fight corruption?
I think fighting corruption is a collective effort. All departments have a role to play. Youth themselves have a role to play. The government has a role to play. And even the civil society has a role to play. Youth, I would say that maybe they need to up their attitude towards fighting corruption. They need to be very vigilant.
How can they
and they need to seek knowledge. First of all, knowledge is power.
Yes.
If you have knowledge, no one can violate your rights. They need also to be very vigilant, participate. They need to participate in all processes. Take for example, LASPNet has just launched a report, but how many youth are eager to know what issues are actually in that report that address our access to justice issues? I think youth should be very vigilant on knowing knowledge, because one thing we as Africans, some people have said that if you want to hide away the truth, put it in writing. I think that notion should change.
Actually, it is not only in Africa. The other day I saw a tweet from Chris Tucker. He said, when goons attack your house, my brother, keep your money in the books, because even the black thugs, when they come to raid you, they don't check books, they don't read books, so you're sure they will check in the safe and all that. How do we change that notion? Can we take it away from the writings and we make it much more easy to access?
I think the policies, first of all, have to be youth-friendly. In a way that let them be very participatory right from the ground. Youth should be involved in the planning, and also we have very many tribes in Uganda. I think there is a need to translate all our policies, all our laws, so that they are very friendly and very understandable to all youth across the country, and also making it visible into public offices. For example, I'll give you an example. Bail is police bond is free, but many youth are paying money to be released on police bond.
Right there, do our officers on the deck understand the law? When you find a police officer at one police station and someone is pleading to get a bond or whatever, and family members come through, do these officers know the law?
I would say actually they know the law, but they take advantage of the ignorance.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I encourage the youth to seek knowledge first, and also be vigilant. Because if you actually know where to report a corruption case, no one can take advantage of you. So the officers are using that advantage because they know we have an informed citizenry that does not even care. People seem very comfortable actually to pay for a bribe to get services, which shouldn't be the case. So they know the law, but there is a need for youth themselves to actually seek knowledge and also be very vigilant to report corruption cases. The government itself and the civil society, by the way, the constitution puts the role of translating all these human rights books, law books into different languages.
For the years I've seen them around, they're not being translated. Is it a loop that needs to actually be bridged as well?
It should be bridged because the constitution gives that role to the Human Rights Commission to translate all those human rights books into local languages. So I think that should be also taken serious, because that's how we can bridge this gap. Because there is a gap between the educated and the uneducated. And by the way, I wouldn't say that even the educated are more informed. They also somehow not informed, and they have been caught in many of these cases. So I think participation is very key, and also knowledge, I would say,
is another one. Well, we're still discussing how the youth can actually plug into the fight against corruption and the entire system. We're live from the Legal Aid Service Network right here in Mengo. Where do we need to strike the balance between the policymakers and us, the youth? Abantu bawansi? Please come closer. Ronald Twinamasiko.
Between the policymakers and the youth.
Yes.
First is looking at the causes of what brings this corruption we have that perpetuates they used to suffer a lot.
Ronald, let's
and
look at the camera. This is serious.
And forget. Sometimes they even fail to get the services simply because they cannot. They have no knowledge. So what we need to do is to look at the causes.
Yeah.
What are the causes that bring the youth to distance themselves from the legal services that they're supposed to benefit from? And most importantly, like Eli said about the issue of knowledge. That should be one of them. So we bring in our policymakers. The politicians should be the first key persons to help us bridge the gap. Yes, we took them to parliament, we have elected them in different positions, but they have a role to play down to the youths. Most of these politicians we have within Central Region and most part of the country are youths. The youths here constitute more than 70% of Ugandans. So I think bridging the gap between those politicians who claim to know the law and we the youths will help us. Then also translating, like I said, the most of the laws, the policies, the practices that are supposed to be used into the common language helps a lot. Bring the service points
closer
to them.
Now that this report was released, what is the way forward? Because it was released, and what are we looking at? Okay, the report was released. A lot is happening from the local council level to the parish level, of course, to the national grid. What is the way forward? Where do we plug in? How do the youth join this fight?
I would say it all starts with the youth. For us to be able to fight, we have to change our mindset. The challenge we have this government etuyambe. Everything we take it to the government. Even with the corruption itself, the difference with the disparity with corruption is that the wealthy have the ability to access legal services. Now, the youth who constitute more than 70% of the Ugandans we have today, and are in that category of the most the poor people we have in the country. So what does that mean? That for us to be able to bring them closer and enjoy these legal services, they need to be empowered. They need to access money, resources, such that they can be able first to go to office and can speak boldly, can be able to seek for a lawyer. Let
me give you a good example. If someone is in Zimbabwe and they have a land wrangle as family members, the moment one comes and says in Bitutemu Koti, most of them stand away, and they're like, Bitutemu Koti. If someone says Tugendemu Koti, they shy away. Achan, what do you make of that kind of approach, rather beatitude?
I would say they shy away not because it's because of the technicalities that are involved. Many people today do not trust the justice system because they believe when you enter court, when you enter the court building, you'll meet a clerk. A clerk will tell you a different story and tell you that magistrate has told me you need to give me this for me to proceed to the case. So there's that gap between, there's information asymmetry where the magistrate at the top doesn't know what is going down. So I believe that if only they could put there could be charters, there could be posts everywhere for people to know. And they should be how should I say? I couldn't call them officer attendants at court, but there should be people that are there to guide.
Personnel to guide.
Personnel to guide, and they should be truthful. Because if at the end of the day I want to help someone who is very vulnerable, then it starts with me. I have to be honest. I have to have the ethics. I have to have the morals to be able to assist someone.
I hear you. Now that you're dealing with the youth, do we have an app where, we're in a digital age? The youth to be involved, something has to be digital. Something has to be online, that someone is going to report a case online and someone is going to jump to it. Last minute, do we have an approach with regard to the digital forums?
Yes, there is an online app which LASPNet with partners have actually developed.
What is the app called?
The app is a corruption. It's aiming at fighting corruption. So it's a whistleblower. Youth, if you see any corruption case, you can actually report or take a photo, and this information can be channeled to any relevant ministry or authorities for response. But I also wanted to add something on actually youth, why they shy away from corruption, from reporting cases. One thing you need to also agree with is that the legal process is very expensive, and there is a saying that omwavu tasinga musango in Uganda, and actually that makes people, that makes, you're very well aware that youth are very poor.
Yes,
they have not amassed wealth. They don't have even money to offer for sureties.
So let me give you an example. I've sued her, and we have come to the court premises, and as soon as the clerks are walking in, they were like, "Hi, Achan, long time," and the magistrate comes out, he's like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And believe you me, I'm like, and
that makes people to shy away from actually going to court. But I give credit to civil society like LASPNet. Civil society organizations have actually come up to educate the masses, and LASPNet with partners are giving free legal aid services to the poor, and that is a credit, because how many times do actually people come up to know that I can actually afford a lawyer? It's not very easy to afford a lawyer, and LASPNet can give you a lawyer for free. That is credit, and I think such programs should be supported even to continue, because if it empowers me as a youth, if I can call a one, I have a lawyer, I think that should be one of the things that should be given much emphasis. But with corruption, I think the app is there, as you said, and my colleague has been participating so much into developing that app and how it operates. So you can.
How does the app operate now? My dear youth who's watching at home, we're talking about how the youth are plugging into the fight against corruption, coming on the heels of the president saying that he's very bitter and there is a unit fighting corruption at State House. We have a WhatsApp number, we have a landline there you call, we have a hotline to fight corruption from the state's perspective. Now, for the youth, we have an app. So, explain the app.
First of all, it is the app itself is called the Say It app.
Say It app.
Yes.
Say it like Chogere.
Yes. Say It app.
Say SAYITAPP. Okay.
It's only limited to people with smartphones.
Okay.
And
Katinzo muntu wa wansi who is in Chengegwa and I want to report something. Do we have a USSD code?
It is in progress.
Okay.
Now, what you do is that you download that app, you install it, then, of course, it can do for you.
Do you have it on the phone?
I have two smartphones. Okay. Unfortunately, it is not on this phone.
No.
However,
let's go in your app store and we try to see if we can get it.
However,
you see, this is reality TV. We're trying to get the app. Say It app. Yeah, we want to get the Say It app. Want to see how it looks like. You need to know how it. Say It app. He's trying to look for it, but it's entirely talk about the fight against corruption, how the youth can actually get into, and it's not only the government, all the other NGOs and CSOs that have to be in the fight. You yourself, you have to be a part of the fight. Now it starts with you from the homes, the children we're nurturing. What kind of leaders are we nurturing for tomorrow? Then kudos to legal aid service providers. These guys offer legal services for free. If you're a youth and you need information, take time, come to Mengo, just around the MRI center. You'll find them and you'll get to know how best you can actually access this information. You get to know your rights and you get to know who has violated your rights and stuff like that. Tekijjasoboka ekyo naye tukyanoonya wano Say It app. We are looking for it. You need to know how it looks like. You need to know how it works, and you get to know how you can actually report. While you're looking at it, let me tap into your strength. Have parents played a key role to fight corruption in any way?
No.
Please come closer.
No, they haven't played any key role in unfortunately.
What are parents doing in all this?
The parents of today are very busy working, and they have made sure they perpetuate corruption.
How?
It has started from the lowest in families itself. They don't have time for the kids. So what happens is they will come and bribe the child to either accept, be taken by the driver to school, and please the boy or girl at home that he will not be around, so he brings him a gift or something like that.
Okay.
So a child learns knowing he has to be given in case he complains about something. So before you know it, this is taken to school. Even at school, the child is there, busy campaigning. These days it's even serious.
Yeah.
They campaign and give fellow kids sweets.
So corruption starts from home to school.
Omuzadde asitula omwana we namuwa ebintu n'abiteeka mu motoka ng'agenze campaign is serious. Even posters are there. So tell me, these are the politicians who, they grow up in strength, and before you know it, it has really gone. So it's spilling over, and even the people themselves, he expects something in return. They know these politicians are going to remain in Kampala and forget them in Chana Mukaka. So these are the challenges we have. So the parents, I don't know, we need to change the perception about our roles and go back to the drawing board, appreciate that we have a role to play in fighting corruption. So it starts from us, like Achan said.
Wow. Well, my producer, you will allow me, I'm just going to take a little more time because there is a lot to actually talk about here. We're going to talk more. How best can we have the entire system, like connected? From the family level to the school level, do schools need to say that people are just going to come here and campaign without giving anything, and we actually just go, with the best candidate? Because now we're going as down as it can be.
Okay, that used to be actually the practice before politics, the monetarization of politics and the multi-party politics.
Yes.
But right now, system has changed. Maybe we need to go back to the drawing board and say that, okay, we don't now need to have money because you can't imagine when I was campaigning to be a head boy at my school in primary.
You were a head boy?
I actually didn't succeed.
What was the reason?
Because
was it money constraints or what?
I was campaigning with someone who actually had a rich father and he published posters all over. He bought
you kept saying
So it was really very hard for me and a bit, traumatizing because I came up and I thought actually I have the potential to lead, and I had a team, but even my team members couldn't actually stand with me for so long because I had someone, a competitor was very rich actually. But I think we need to go back to potential, and that presents a lot of challenges, because if someone is bribed from the early stage to just offer vote, it creates a system which shows that actually to get something you have to give something, and something for something system can't take us anywhere, because it reduces the levels of accountability. It reduces responsibilities. It undermines the social responsibility. So I think that system is really not good, and this comes from the family level, because when I was competing, the person who managed to actually give sweets and have posters was supported by his parents. Parents were rich and they had to go, and so if the parents were not in that position to actually do that, this person, maybe we could campaign on merit, and maybe we could have better leaders. does.
Oh, yeah.
And also, if it goes, there is a saying that, you know, systems are corrupt, whatever, but who corrupts the systems? Who corrupts the institutions? You know, we are the people who corrupts the institutions. So if we are nurtured in a way that we actually look at corruption as a bad thing, then we can't have systems which are corrupt, we can't have institutions which are corrupt, because we are the very people in these very systems and institutions. So mindset. We have to set our mindset to believe that actually corruption is a bad thing. Once we set that mindset, and this is nurtured, you know, this is created through the environments, the environments we live in, the schools we go to, the people we interact with, the churches. You know, sometimes.
Let's talk about the churches. If you could get closer, let's talk about the religious, the clerics. Have they played a key role to fight corruption in the nation? Are they in any way plugged?
No, they are very distant. Yet, of course, if I go to church on Sunday, I expect, as you give me the sermon, at the end of it all, tell me about corruption. Very many of us, the youth, do not know different forms in which corruption manifests.
Yes, and we believe in the churches.
We believe in the churches. If I cannot go to the LC1 chairperson, then I believe I'll go to the pastor. So I expect the pastor to do the same. Tell me, as you're doing this, I don't expect you to go and then give a bribe. When you're faced with this scenario, I don't expect you, if there's abuse of office, corruption manifests in very many ways. So I believe the religious leaders play a very big role, right from when you start, when you're being baptized in church. As they nurture you, your spiritual growth, they need to tell you the realities that are out there that manifest. So I call upon them.
Maybe to add on is that most of these corrupt people,
don't hide, Papa.
they run to church.
Hey, how do they run to church?
They give tithe.
In millions?
Yes, in millions. They are given front seats. They are the first people to be given blessings because they have offered much. So when you talk about religious, they haven't done. In fact, for me, I would prefer them to isolate these people, so that we isolate the ones who have contributed them, because you were disservice to the nation. Because then the second is that why corruption is still going on. It is because the number of times people have reported causes of corruption, but government has taken no action. So it demotivates people to go and report.
There is one scandal, if I could interest you, that is involving one big shot that these allegations, please not me right, these allegations that he got a bribe of $500,000 US. And a Ugandan petitioned the courts of law to have him scrapped off the title as a minister. Do you think when we petition and we go to courts of law, this thing comes to life?
It does, when there is conviction and commitment. For me, do
you think the judiciary has commitment to actually deliver justice on such high-ranking officials?
Only if it is independent and being professional in what they are doing.
What do you make of the justice system today?
Of course, it is manipulated, infiltrated, like our president is saying. It has been infiltrated by mafias. Masqueraders are there. So what do you expect them to do? They are in fact, it is more of a business, a deal, a give and take. So unless if someone says that, no, for me, Ibra, this is my profession, I will not be intimidated, I will not do because I know you. No, I'm doing my profession. I need to crucify you even if you are my brother. These are the things which should happen. Honestly, we are going to talk and keep talking, and the rest will come and we also continue talking. For as long as we don't take action, for me, I would prefer this big fish, the one which is happening, trending right now, to be the first person to be crucified, so that the rest, the underdogs, will see.
Oh, there you have it. There is a scandal that is currently underway. It's protest on international level. What a shame the nation has gone through. How does it look like? Remember, we are live from last night here in Mengo talking about how the youth can plug into corruption. This is how the app looks like. This is the home, right? Yeah. Can we go back to where it starts from? And okay, for starters, on a smartphone. For starters, this is how the app looks like. If you can look at it quite closely, it looks like this. It's called a Say It All app.
Say it up.
Say It Up. This is how it looks like. So when you have it, you can tap on it, and it brings an interface that looks like that. It has LASPnet. Boom. And then it opens. Now when it brings you to home, it says send text. So you could have, there could be a corruption going on in an office which you actually know, and you're like, Ndiwaneno, kudwaliro lyeji ndi bansabye kanana. You type that and just send it. If you proceed, it says record audio. You can record an audio nga afanda akusaba leta ya kanana. You can capture a picture. You can record a video. And then you send. All this is actually evident. It's evidence that can be used because he who alleges must prove. So this will actually help them to help you run the case against corruption. You need to be a part of this. So if you're youth, just go into your Google app or your Google store. Just look for Say It App, and you'll get an app that looks just a minute. That looks like this, and when you tap on it, it will bring such an interface, and then you're good to go. This is the fight against corruption. We are going digital as a nation. You should be a part of the fight. Thank you so much. And is it user-friendly with the bundles? Some apps are, yeah?
It is. It is.
It is user-friendly.
Because, yes, even because the people who developed it thought that it should be friendly, just like we are advocating for, youth-friendly.
It's data-friendly for the people.
Yes, we are much aware that the youth are vulnerable. Since they are vulnerable, they don't have data.
How fast do you react when they have sent you a text, a video, an audio? How fast do you react to it?
Of course, it goes through the post. We first get the intel, then we assess. We try to, because like the way you are seeing it, it goes direct to jurors, sectors, that is the police. There is a number which you send, the judiciary, Judicial Service Commission, then PSU, that is the Police Standards Unit, then IGG.
All these are partners to fight corruption.
Yes,
wow.
they are there. In fact, because you never asked that question,
yes,
she should have told you, showed you where. Because every case. Okay,
now when I send a message,
When you send a message, you describe what the case is all about. You enter the location where it happened. If you want, you can pin your location. Thereafter, you submit the case. Because I haven't done that, so.
Yeah, so
when you submit the case, it asks you to which institution do you want to submit the case. If it's to the IGG, it will go direct to the contact person in the IGG's office. If it's to the police, the same situation happens. Then thereafter, they will make a phone call to LASPnet to assess, to find out more information, because they want to investigate further. That's how it happens, and they give us response.
So when do you guys call me to confirm what I've actually seen?
Upon receipt of the complaint. Yes, there's someone who is specifically there. He keeps checking the app every now and then. Yes.
Well, there you have it. It's such a great conversation we have had. The fight against corruption starts under legal aid service providers, net that is here in Mengo. It's a collection of lawyers who are actually here to make sure that you actually get legal information. You get to know how much you actually need to fight corruption in the nation. The youth are so vulnerable. They are still in poverty because they lack information and knowledge on how to help themselves. And time and again, we have always picked money from our wallets to actually pay that we can be free. It's your right to be free if you follow the law. So take some time, go on to the LASPnet get a website, get to know how you can contact them. Better still, come to Mengo. They're actually just so close. But is it just in Mengo or it is countrywide? If I'm in Abima,
Last Minute is a network.
Okay.
It's an umbrella organization of different legal aid service providers.
Okay.
So there are various members that are spread out through the different parts of the country.
Wow.
Yes.
So there you have it. It doesn't matter how far you are from the nation, from the city center rather. You can still actually access legal services. So take some time, read more. The youth, let's read. Knowledge is power. Well, shortly after me, there is another expert on the deck in the solution segment who is going to be bantering it out, of course, with Jackie Dewey. And from now, you can join this conversation on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. The hashtag is Morning at 10 TV. Until next time, I'm Andrew Chamagero Omuntua Wansi. But before we actually leave, I challenge you to download the app. Say it up. Good morning.
Hi everyone, my name is Gladys. I'm the ICT Service Manager at NTV. I wish all our viewers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I wish our viewers cut.
Dad, why does this vegetarian yogurt look different? Dad, why does this vegetarian yogurt look different?